Hi, I'm Alan,
I'm Amy.
and we're with ERA King, and we're your old Cahaba realtors. And we're here in a home of a really good friend of mine, Pam. And Pam, why did you pick old Cahaba?
My husband and I chose to move here because this neighborhood is really safe and quiet with his job, and it's very family oriented. We wanted to be able to build our family together in this neighborhood.
And how long have you lived here?
We lived in this neighborhood for 7 years.
That's awesome. Well, the reason we're here today, the reason I asked if we could have this time, and thank you for inviting us to your home, was 2020 has been really hard, and since you started your own therapy group with Birmingham Therapy, you're an LPC, and asking for help during the holidays is really hard. And most people know that I lost my dad in April, not from COVID, and so this year, Christmas Eve is really hard because that's the day my parents got married. So I just put up my tree, and it's really hard to get me Christmas married. And I was hoping that maybe you could share some tips, because there's been a lot of us who have lost family members this year, whether COVID or sick. If you could share some tips.
Yes, I think the biggest thing is just to be able to really sit in the emotion and know what feelings are coming up for you, and be able to name them and not just brush them under the rug and ignore them. And then knowing that, grief is meant to connect all of us. It's a universal emotion. We're all meant to experience that emotion here in this life, and it's going to look different for each person and have many different shapes, forms, and sizes. So like you mentioned, there can be grief outside of physical loss with COVID this year and the pandemic, and loss of normalcy. And in addition to, if someone was diagnosed with a physical health diagnosis throughout this year, or loss of a pet. And so it can definitely take on many different shapes, forms, and sizes, and it also can come up in varying degrees. I like to describe it like a wave. It can come in and gently touch our feet. Sometimes it can come in and pull us into the tide under the water. And sometimes we're in a great storm, and that's okay. To be able to just acknowledge those emotions and know that they're going to come in varying degrees, and even when we least expect it, that it's going to hit us. And I think we move forward with our grief too. It's a process, and it doesn't just go away, and we take it with us. And the biggest thing is really just being able to find ways during this holiday time to honor your grief and honor the loss. And there's different ways that you can do that. And so maybe finding a way on Christmas Eve that you would celebrate your parents' wedding anniversary. Maybe cook one of their favorite meals or a family tradition you did together growing up. For me, my grandfather, when he passed, one way that I honor him is he loved Mardi Gras in New Orleans. And every time I go down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, I will pick up beads that were broken, because he would have my sister and I pick up every raggedy bead on the street.
That's really
and take it, and no matter how raggedy it was. And so I pick up the raggedy ones at Mardi Gras and place some nice pretty ones as well onto his grave, some saints, New Orleans Saints ones. He loved the saints. And so I do that every Mardi Gras to honor his passing and my grief. And it's beautiful.